We're going to start our match review segment for this evening, and today we are starting with a Pyramid Head game, which we started off our stream with Pyramid Head game from Njordgandr, who has 1.1k hours in the game, so it's slightly past that moment where you should know most of your adept skills in Dead by Daylight, that being, you know, macro, microplay, etc. Let's go ahead and take a look at what map you're on. All right, so you are playing Pyramid Head, which is an exceptionally good character. Most agree that he's either top 10 or at the edge of top 10. One of the few characters in the game that can go straight through objects with their attack, only shared by Artist, Nurse, and to some extent Unknown. So that's good. Also ways to circumvent Endurance and DS. There's cages, which obviously since DS is way better again. That is way more helpful. You're on Yamaoka though, which is typically not a very seen as a killer-sided map. It is not one of the larger maps in the game, but is a giant rectangle. Oh, Vecna, yeah, that's true. Vecna can do it with his Flight of the Damned now. Although you have to be pretty good with that to do that. Like if you do that wrong or put it in the wrong place, like not the most helpful. I like the way that this is a complete tangent. I like the way Rev put it. Within 4 meters, Fly of the Damned is really good. But outside 4 meters, it's like it's basically the same as it was on the PTB. Yeah, you need to know the spacing. But Yamaoka, despite not being a big map, is a big long rectangle, which means a lot of your gens are kind of artificially spaced out, which makes them harder to pressure. So let's go ahead and look at your add-ons and your pikes. Okay, so in terms of your add-ons, you're on the right add-ons. The range add-on tree's kind of the only thing that's really good on Pyramid Head. Some can make an argument for like Mannequin Foot, but like, or he does have a Mangle to Hemorrhage add-on now, but like realistically, you still should be, even with those add-ons, still running double range. So you're right in that regard. Your build is pretty good, pretty balanced. You have Nowhere to Hide Eruption and Trail Torn, which all have great synergy, and No Way Out, which is one of the better non-slow down perks in the game. So if you lose, not because of your build, go ahead and roll it. No, you decided to misbehave. You are in air jail. You're in air jail. Oh. You did bad things with your freedom, so you no longer have it. Okay, good guess. It's not too bad. Okay, she's paying attention. Hey, don't spend too much time just going for willy-nilly shots. That gives her, you know, match time is gen time, and it also gives her a lot of distance. Yeah, you don't get up on mom's computer. It's very expensive. You might break it. Well, we've already spent a great deal of time with this. Nice, good job. Up. Yep. I think I'm pulling you like a chihuahua right now. Great job, great hits. It took you a while. And then she DC'd. What's funny is you're purring, so I know you're enjoying this. There's somebody on that. Behave. I need to check some. Okay, no scratch marks take them away from that. You know, I'm so worried about you when you weren't freaking out, and now I'm like... Okay, so you hear the gen to your left actively being worked on, and you just kind of like ignore it for no reason. It's actively being worked on, and it's like 90%, if not more. And you just kind of just like walk by it for like no reason. You're like, Michi scratch marks, but you're not gonna like interrupt that gen? I don't know why. Yeah, you just kind of let that gen go for no reason. And you very clearly heard it. Yeah, you don't even find the person you were looking for. You definitely should have interrupted that or challenged that. Doing so well, yeah, that's the problem with like Pyramid Head and any killer that has like really complicated shots. I think it's like really cool that you're like trying to go for all these crazy shots, but like At a certain point, you're just like not hitting and wasting a fuck ton of time, right? That's the unfortunate truth. Like, this is the fun way to play the character. This is the way I play the character. But if you're talking about in terms of consistency, trying to get better, you are just kind of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And currently, it's like only like 10% of it is sticking. I would try going for more measured, calculated shots instead of just like throwing it and going, I hope that works. Yeah, like if you're doing this at like if you, for example, if you already had somebody dead, you know, you already have a tremendous amount of pressure on them, so you can kind of mess around and go for more like fun shots. If you're trying to do it like out the gate. I don't mean this is any offense to you, but this is like a thing that I have seen. This will probably be like a huge takeaway, like for everybody watching, whether this is YouTube or not, is that like a lot of people will play really complicated characters that have like clips. Like they're like clips characters, right? Like Huntress, Pyramid Head, Wesker, Xenomorph. And they'll just like run out of the gate trying to do the super complicated stuff or the super flashy stuff to get a clip right away. I'm not saying that's your intention, but like at least the kind of shots you're going for are like in that same vein. But that's not like the official way to play any of these characters. You know, we do that because it's funny, because it's fun and it looks cool and it's entertaining. In terms of consistently like playing well, you absolutely shouldn't be just kind of like going ham and seeing like if I could farm a clip. You should definitely be going for more measured, consistent shots. Nice. Good jump. Look at that! You waited until he was in a locked animation and went bam! Excellent example. Do that more. Good job! Look at you! Like you heard me in the past. By the way, Triple, I've been spending more points on Singularity, so I have quite a few more Sumo photos for the next time you request. I'm preparing. That is really distorted to see just like the flock of tables out of nowhere. Yeah, you're just kind of like making shots without knowing where everybody is and just kind of like hoping it hits. Yeah. Yeah, what would you... Main takeaway, chill. Main takeaway is chill. Chill. You have like 0 chance of hitting these, but you're just kind of like going for them. Like that hit right there was not even like remotely close to the hook, even with range. So you just kind of like turned around and like M2'd the air behind you. Breathe. Just because you can use your power doesn't mean you always should be. Like you didn't even reach the hook with your M2 there. Yeah, like you're not even aiming at this point. You're just kind of like sending it and going, I hope that hits. It's not ideal. Which, like I said, it's very common for characters like these that are like kind of like cool shot flip characters like Wesker, Xeno, Huntress. It's a thing, but it's like not an ideal way to play the character. Yeah, like there's so much you could be doing here to like zone them with like, you know, dragging your sword, then pushing them into an unfavorable area where you could either hit the M1 or hit your M2, which is the whole point of what you're trying to do. But like, because you're just not doing that at all, you're just throw the knife. Yeah, just like a javelin. It's gonna be a very boring match for you because it's like there's one main thing causing issues. Yeah, this is me too, right? Like I do that a lot. But that's because like I don't play Pyramid very often. The reason that I enjoy playing Pyramid Head is going for the crazy shots. But even then, I still try to take more better shots. You can't go across gaps with this power like that. You can't go across the gap here. That's not a thing. Hi, you little rascal. All misbehavior. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. If you jump up there one more time, you're fired. No paycheck, no benefits, nothing. If I actually had a DC really early on in your game, you go this far behind, but not ideal. And you literally took that nap, you woke up, and you were like 150% speed. You're wild. Yeah. At this point, you are extremely behind. You need somebody dead. It's this sucky and boring thing, but you just gotta go kill the bot. You won't pick him up there. She kind of ran into you there. What? Are you gonna get me? Are you going to attack me? Are you gonna take me down? Me? Who feeds you? Me who buys your food, buys your treats? You gonna take me down? Oh, yeah, that's very wise. It's gonna be. This is like, you know, a funny thing. It's one of the easiest matches I've had. At least got that going for us. What you say? Because it continues to be the problem the entire match, right? It's a fundamental issue. Open my eye. I don't trust that guy. This is the human sable. At this point, the match is just kind of thrown. You could like down her and try to camp her for like. Yeah, a lot of people play that way, Triple, with like in-game perks. They're like, okay, well, I can just like not perform well in the mid-game, and early game, and just like, you know, just play off my end-game perks. It's like, no, having somebody dead and then having all your in-game perks go off is like a perfect storm for you. It's excellent. All that extra pressure. Very lovely. That's my shoe. Don't meow at me. You can't even meow. You want a hair tie? Here. Go long. Go long. Hey, hey. Shh. Pay attention. Hey. Look at me. Look at Dad. Hey. Look at me. I'm about to shoot this hair tie. He's not okay. Hey. Oh my gosh, you zoned for the M1! I'm so proud of you. Good stuff. What are you trying to finish now? Yeah, exactly. That really is the core issue. I'm not trying to be lazy with the match review. Like literally, that is fundamentally the main issue. Yeah, even with, I don't really need to say anything else. Your main takeaway, and like, unironically, like I can talk about all the other stuff, like not camping somebody in the end game or not pressuring the gen off to the side early on. But realistically, the main and only reason you lost this game is because you were just Hail Marrying with your power nonstop. You had almost zero thought behind your shots. It was just like, yeah, you did nothing but spam your power that entire game. Every chase, there was not like any sort of like measured thought process behind most of your shots besides, I'm gonna go for my shot. I'm gonna try to hit this now. And it's just like, there was no thought process or philosophy behind it besides just like going ham. And you gotta reel that back. because every time you go for a shot and you miss, that's distance that they gain. That's them getting more information about you, so you become more predictable. Like, you are just giving them so much. Kind of a morbid analogy, and I will not say it too fully because, you know, I'm Monka, but like, if you give people rope, what do they do with it, right? And you were giving them a lot of rope constantly, but just by going for aimless shots literally non-stop. Like, it was literally like 3 or 4 or 5 times a chase. And you might think like, okay, well, like, if I go for a crazy shot and I miss once, that's only like 3 or 4 seconds, right? But if you're doing it 4 or 5 times a chase, you're starting like, you know, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds. Suddenly you're like, oh gosh, I have wasted a third of the gen going for shots. And if you're doing that, excuse me, if you're doing that every single chase, giving up almost a third of a gen in terms of time going for shots, that adds up big time. So you gotta reel those shots in. You gotta.